If you were an athlete with big dreams and you didn't make it, no one prepares you for what happens after sports. And this is exactly what happened to me. I didn't make it to the NBA, and no one told me, okay, what's next? And if this is you and you can kind of relate to this, I'm hoping that I can help you kind of find your path, your mission, your new passion that can maybe replace your sport. Let me see, so I have some bullet points here. I don't want to jump around all over the place. And also I told myself I'm going to walk from here to there, and by that time I need to be done. Okay, I said my hook, and I hope you can relate. So if this is you, I want to put you on the right direction, and I think I can kind of help. I went through the same exact thing you went through, and I was able to somewhat, and I say somewhat, find myself. So I started a business, started my own company, hired employees. So I was a boss, right, of people, and it was crazy. Started working with the government, started doing kindergarten and school sports. I started company fitness, got into real estate. This was a big one. Started renting out properties, Airbnb. So I got over that hump of being stuck, and I'm still not there yet. I still haven't found my new passion, but I got over that hump. And I think that's what a lot of athletes who, when they're done and they get stuck, and maybe they're stuck in that corporate world where they feel just boxed in, that's where a lot of people just get stuck. And I'm hoping I can help you out. So let me go back to my next bullet point. Okay, so why is this hard? I think it's super hard for a lot of athletes because they lose direction. You're completely lost. I mean, you're used to practicing, I don't know, once, twice a day. You have games on the weekends, you're looking at footage, you're meeting with your team, you have coaches, players, other players, teammates, counselors, all kind of stuff around you all the time. Everyone is kind of guiding you in the right direction. So all you have to do is honestly it's super easy. You just have to dribble the basketball and shoot it in the bucket, right? Pass the ball, cross some people up. That's all you really have to worry about. And just doing that. So you have pretty much one thing, one task to worry about, and that's just getting better at your sport. For me, it was basketball. Just getting better at basketball, getting my shots up, working on my handles, working on my athletic ability, plyometrics, lifting, all that stuff. And it may sound crazy, but it sounds crazy to the point where, okay, if it was so easy, why didn't you make it? That's a good question to ask. But I don't know, I didn't train right. I didn't have the right team around me. You know, in sports, it's also politics. And I had opportunities as well that I kind of turned off or shut down. You don't say turned off. I had opportunities that I shut down. So a lot of it was also my fault. But I don't know why I'm talking about this. But anyways, where was I? You have, you have that structure around you of people that are guiding you in the right direction. And when you finish sports, you're left completely alone. You don't have that anymore. You don't have that team, that structure around you, none of that. So no purpose, feeling like a failure. I think that's a big one. If you didn't make it, you didn't make it. You failed, right? That's in sports. There is no in between. There's either winning or losing. And if you didn't make your goal come true, your dream come true, you lost. That's what you think. You lost. And you identify yourself as that athlete, that's basketball player, that whatever, that swimmer, that soccer player. And that's you. That's who you are. And if you don't have that anymore, you don't have an identity anymore. So that's what a lot of us think. So I think that's the big problem. And that's the hardest thing when you transition. Who are you, right? That's the big question. Signs you're lost, depression. I think a lot of people, friends of mine I know, they fall into a depression. They're quiet. They're not that outgoing person they used to be. They're just all over the place. It's sad, but it's true. You have no motivation. Like when you're a basketball player, you're motivated. You have someone challenge you. You're pushing yourself to the limit, right? You're really working as hard as you can to beat that person or do whatever you can to, be the best. I think the big one is being lost. So you have no direction, you're lost, and that was me. After basketball, my goodness, so it's a bit windy now. I hope you can still hear me. I completely lost direction. I got into gardening. A friend of mine had a gardening company. I started gardening, crazy. Um, what else did I do? I became a DJ. I don't know what the DJ thing was. I was up to like 5, and then we got like sandwiches at 5 a.m., which is crazy. I don't know who would eat a sandwich at 5 a.m. I mean, you're hungry, but crazy. It's super windy. It was just people who just passed. I became a headhunter for electrical engineering. I would call Australia all the time, and be like, "Hey, are you looking for a new job?" Like to these electrical engineering executives. What the? I went back to school, so I wanted to get my master's. I started studying international marketing. I think it was Masters of International Marketing. I did that for a month. I went to TK Maxx, so the headquarters, well, not the headquarters, but the European headquarters, TJX companies, and I was in the office. I did this traineeship and became an allocation analyst. I have no idea what that is. I got into customer support. What else did I do? Let me turn around here and then walk through. So I just did all kinds of stuff, and I was all over the place. So the big question is, how do you find yourself? And I think, and I'll get back to this because I'm still finding myself, but I'll tell you, I think the big reason, and this is probably common sense, is just to try. And I think after basketball, I was only basketball. Well, like they forced us to do, what did we do in school? We did track and field, so I did triple jump. I hated that, but that was kind of like, that was the only other thing I did during like basketball. Of course, I worked jobs. I worked at like KFC. I worked at Subway, Anthony's Pizza, all fast food chains, really. I was a building manager at one of the school's librarian. But the thing is, I tried different things. So after basketball, I got into gardening. I did the DJ thing. I got into company. I got into the marketing department for a company. So I was working a 9 to 5. I did all kinds of things, and I kept trying. That's the big one. Finally, I got into, 2013? I joined a gym, and I became a trainer. And then I became a personal trainer. I got certified and all this stuff. And then I just started training people. And from there, I felt, okay, this is the thing that I'm feeling comfortable with doing. This is what I really am passionate about for this time being. And I built up a clientele. I, started doing company fitness. I started, I was bringing all my clients, so personal training, individual clients to different areas. Then I got my own gym. And from there, I hired my employees. So I hired people to take over my clients, so I did athletic training with teams. I did company fitness for people who just sit all day, mobility training, boot camps. And then I started this corporation with the government where I started training kids and, sending my employees out to train kids. And that's stuff that I'm still doing now. And it just shows that, for me, it made sense. And I think for a lot of ex-athletes, number one, I'm not sure if you're good working for someone. I'm not sure, because your entire life, it seems, you're being told what to do. A coach is telling you what to do. And then at some point, I think you turn into your own boss. So I think it makes sense to, either become self-employed, do your own thing, become a freelancer, do something in that realm. I think that's big time for ex-athletes to just kind of be their own boss, because again, they have people telling them nonstop what to do. I don't think, and especially if you're a basketball player, let's say, and then you have first of all, some guy maybe shorter than you, and he's not as fit as you once were, kind of telling you what to do. The respect, because if it's like an ex-basketball player who's accomplished a lot, you're going to look up to that person. But if it's like someone who ran a company, and I'm not putting people down who run companies or who are bosses in companies, it's just a whole different thing. If you're coming from sports, how you carry yourself, how you show others respect. And I think in the business world, it's a bit different, right? There's a different type of swag there in companies, and the connection just isn't there, right? And I think, yeah, when you're an athlete, it's just different, right? So I think for you, it would make sense to maybe also become self-employed, do your own thing, and maybe get into sports. And for me, if you're an ex-athlete, you probably have injuries. I did. I ruptured my Achilles tendon. I tore my meniscus. I had crazy chronic jumper's knee, anterior pelvic tilt. My lower back was, woof. My hip flexors was just extremely tight. All kinds of things. And this is one of the reasons why I became passionate about fitness and sports, is that, I wanted to cure these things, and I was able to cure myself. And I feel, I'm almost 40, honestly I feel like I'm fitter than I've ever been. I can't jump from outside the box anymore. I can't do that. I'm not gonna dunk on you anymore if I go down the lane. And plus I'm still afraid after tearing my Achilles tendon. That's a horrible injury. Meniscus is also bad. When you're laying down on your back and your knee is killing you, horrible. I'm not as fit, obviously, but I feel, for my age, I feel amazing. My joints, I have no more joint pain. I feel strong, all that stuff. So I think for you, if you can, maybe get into some type of sport, do something, some giving back to the youth, maybe get into coaching. And if you're an ex-athlete, for you, it's really not a problem to coach other people, because you know how to push yourself. You've been through that hard sweat, pushing your body to the limits, not giving up. You know all this stuff. So a lot of people who aren't into sports, I realize they don't know how to do that. And for you being a coach, telling them hey, you can do it, push through, come on, you got this. That's really what a lot of people need to hear. And they don't have that outside of sports. So yeah, maybe become a coach. I don't know, I think I talked way too much. Did I cover all my points? Finding yourself, you may be able to find yourself. So yeah, and this is another thing why I'm saying, okay, I think I'm still on that journey of finding myself, because I'm still doing other things. Now I'm trying to figure out this online thing. Who knows where it goes? I tried modeling as well, weird, but this is a new challenge for me as well. So I'm just keeping, I'm just gonna keep trying. I'm just gonna keep going and see where it goes. So who knows? If you're an ex-athlete and you're out of shape, I have this free 7-day series that may help you get back in shape. It's an email series. It's an email sent out every day for 7 days, and then it kind of guides you, puts you on track. And it really, to get fit, I used to think you have to do all this crazy stuff, plyometrics, lift heavy weights, deadlift, cleans, jumping, all kind of stuff. You don't need any of that stuff. When you reach a certain age, it's really mainly, honestly, just about resistance training, and you could be amazingly fit with a push-up, a pull-up, a squat, and maybe some jump ropes. That's it, I promise you, that's all you need. All right, I talked way too much. Have a good one, bye.